The first key issue identified is the decline in Berjaya Food Berhad's net profit. Based on the consolidated statement of profit or loss, the group recorded a net loss of Rm 288 and 8 cent million in financial year 2025 compared with Rm 87 and 44 cent million in financial year 2024. This represents an increase in losses of approximately Rm 264 cent million or in percentage 229%. The main reason for this decline was the 36.5% decrease in revenue from Rm 755 and 99 cent million in financial year 2024 to Rm 479 and 45 cent million in financial year 2035. The decrease was mainly caused by the prolonged consumer boycott of Starbucks Malaysia, which reduced customer traffic and sales. In addition, the company continued to incur high operating expenses despite lower revenue. Berjaya Food also recognized significant impairment losses of Rm 52 and 89 cents million for property, plant and equipment and Rm 74 and 83 cent million for the right-of-use assets, together with asset write-offs. These factors further increased the company's expenses and contributed to the higher net loss. In conclusion, the sharp increase in net loss indicates a significant deterioration in Berjaya Food Berhad's financial performance, which highlight the need for continued restructuring, cost management, and efforts to restore customer confidence and also profitability.
Next, for issue 2, the main problem faced by Berjaya Food Berhad is prolonged consumer boycott, which has significantly impacted their overall sales performance. This boycott was mainly driven by changing consumer sentiment related to the Middle East conflict. Because of this, Starbucks Malaysia experienced a noticeable decline in foot traffic and transaction volume across most of its outlets nationwide. This shows that customers were actively reducing their purchases, not just temporarily, but over a sustained period. In terms of financial performance, the impact was very severe. The group's revenue dropped by 36.5% to 476.8 million ringgit in financial year 2025. At the same time, the company recorded a large net loss of 292 million ringgit, which is more than 3 times higher compared to the previous year. This clearly indicates a major deterioration in both sales performance and customer demand. As a result, the company also faced strong financial pressure, especially in terms of cash flow and short-term business stability. This made it more difficult for the company to maintain consistent operations and profitability. Importantly, this issue is not just a short-term problem. The negative impact continued into financial year 2025 and financial year 2026, showing that the boycott has a longer-term effect on the business. Although there was a slight recovery in revenue, management mentioned that the recovery process is still slow and uncertain. To respond to this situation, the company took corrective action by closing underperforming outlets. The total number of stores was reduced from 408 to 320, mainly to minimize operational losses and improve efficiency. Overall, the prolonged boycott has created a significant and lasting impact on the company's revenue, financial stability, and future growth potential. So that's all from me. Thank you.
The final issue is the existence of critical structural vulnerabilities revealed in BF Food audited financial statement, particularly large non-cash charges and capital erosion. The group was hit hard by large-scale disposal, extensive write-off, and heavy impairment of unprofitable properties. These non-operating charges weigh heavily on the financial statement and highlight the significant balance sheet costs of sustaining and restructuring physical retail infrastructure that no longer meets its economic return targets. Due to the deterioration in economic performance of restaurant and cafe branch in Malaysia, B Food recognized impairment losses of 52.89 million on property, plant and equipment as disclosed in Note 5 and 74.83 million on right-of-use asset disclosed in 6A. Accounting standard require this downward adjustment because this asset block could no longer produce the expected value in use and cash flow. On top of this impairment, the group suffered further capital erosion through outright write-off of non-performing asset, 23.67 million in equipment and 11.19 million in intangible asset. This aggressive asset purging points to a structural mismatch in B-Food physical retail footprint, where the company had to absorb extraordinarily high sunk costs and consolidation charge to permanently retire underperforming asset and protect its remaining cash reserve.
So next, we're going to SWOT. So first, let's look at the Berjaya Food strength. So the company has a strong Starbucks brand in Malaysia, a wide outlet network, and a solid support from its parent company, which is Berjaya Corporation. In addition, its consistent product quality, strong digital presence, and operational experience help the company maintain customer trust and remain competitive in the market. Next, weakness. Despite this strength, Berjaya Food also faced several weaknesses. These include declining profitability, the impact of the consumer boycott on sales, and high dependence on the Starbucks brands. Rising operating costs together with asset impairment and write-off have also affected the company's financial performance. So, moving on to opportunities, the demand for premium coffee continues to grow in Malaysia, creating strong market potential. The expansion of digital ordering and delivery services, recovery in tourism, and increasing demand for healthier and sustainable products also provide new opportunities for business growth. So, based on the SO strategies, Berjaya Food should leverage its existing strength to capture these opportunities. The company can use its strong Starbucks brand and wide outlet network to expand into new markets while strengthening digital ordering and delivery services. At the same time, maintaining high product quality will help attract more customers and support long-term of growth.
Next, we move to our WL strategy, which focus on minimizing our internal weaknesses by taking advantage of emerging market opportunities. First, we will optimize digital ordering platform and loyalty program to significantly improve customer engagement and rebuild customer loyalty. Second, we will actively capitalize on any recovery in consumer sentiment to boost store traffic and improve our overall sales revenue. Third, we plan to introduce healthy beverage options to realign our menu with modern trend and strengthen our financial performance. Finally, we will capture the broad demand for premium coffee to maximize revenue across our entire portfolio, helping to reduce our over-reliance on the primary Starbucks business segment. Based on our previous slide, WO strategies, which focus on minimizing our internal weakness by taking advantage of emerging market opportunities. First, we will optimize digital ordering platform and loyalty program to improve customer engagement. Second, we will actively capitalize on any recovery in consumer sentiment. Third, we plan to introduce healthier beverage options to realign our menu with modern trend and strengthen our financial performance. Finally, we will capture the broad demand for premium coffee to maximize revenue across our entire portfolio, helping to reduce our over-reliance on the primary Starbucks business segment. First, let's address our main external threat, prolonged consumer boycott due to Middle East geopolitical tensions. Second, fierce competition from fast-growing local coffee brands like Zeus Coffee and Basbear, rising inflation that is cutting consumer spending on premium products, labor shortages, minimum wage spike, and climate-driven disruption hitting our supply chain. To counter this, we have three proactive ST strategies. First, we will leverage our 400 plus outlets and digital loyalty app with target promotion to stop customer churn. Second, we will highlight our FTSE for Good 4-star ESG rating and community initiatives like our signing store to rebuild brand trust. Third, our management will secure forward purchase contract to lock in raw material prices and protect our supply chain. Finally, our defensive WT strategy focuses on risk mitigation. First, we are renegotiating store leases and streamlining operation to slash fixed labor and utility costs. Second, we are aggressively expanding our secondary brand like Paris Baguette and Kenny Roger Roaster to diversify away from coffee sector risk. Third, we are permanently closing underperforming location and redirecting capital into low overhead format like drive-through and delivery kiosks.
So next we continue to recommendation. The first recommendation for Berjaya Food Berhad is to strengthen its digital transformation and customer loyalty programs. This strategy is important because the company is facing a significant decline in customer traffic due to the prolonged boycott and increasing competition from local coffee brands such as Zeus Coffee. To overcome these challenges, Berjaya Food needs to work on its digital ecosystem and improve its mobile application, online ordering platform, delivery service and loyalty rewards programs. Berjaya Food can also consider using personalized promotion, special discount for its mobile application users and game rewards to encourage customer loyalty and engagement. With these changes, Berjaya Food will be able to shift its customer base online and generate more revenue through online platform. The second recommendation is for Berjaya Food Berhad to implement cost optimization and asset rationalization to improve financial stability. Berjaya Food has made many impairment losses and asset write-off. It means that some outlets have failed to generate enough economic benefit. Furthermore, Berjaya Food needs to adopt a cost leadership approach to reduce fixed costs, which include rental, labor, and utilities costs. It will help the company to cut its costs, improve cash flow, and prevent future impairment. With cost leadership strategy, Berjaya Food Berhad will be able to become more financially stable and withstand various external factors such as rising inflation rates and increased raw material prices. I think that's all from us. Thank you.